So my name is Patrick Haggard, and I lead the Action and Body Research Group at the Institute of Cognitive Neuroscience, University College London. I joined UCL on the 1st of January 1995, so in the last century. And in 1998, I was asked to join the Institute of Cognitive Neuroscience, which was just at that point opening. So the ICN was really the creation of Tim Challis, who had been at UCL since around the same time as me. And he had been running a virtual institute, which was effectively a seminar series and some discussions for a while. And I can remember very clearly at the time when I was asked whether I'd be interested to move into ICN, I was actually quite equivocal. And the reason why is quite interesting. So in those days, I focused quite strongly on undergraduate teaching. I sort of saw that as part of my job as a psychology lecturer in the psychology department. And Tim Challis set up the ICN very much as a research-only institute where there wouldn't be undergraduate teaching. And that was part of his vision. And interestingly, in those days, people saw teaching and research as much, much more separate and needing to be kept apart than they do today. So now we say that there are very beneficial interactions. But the concept was that my current head of department at psychology department said, well, Patrick, do you think you should really move to ICN given that you take a lot of care over undergraduate teaching and you see it as being very important? And I slightly did it, which in retrospect was stupid. I should have jumped immediately. But Tim Challis waited while I did it, and luckily he waited very patiently, and I said, yes, I would like to move. And interestingly, from that point on, the balance in my personal career shifted increasingly towards research. So I don't exclude teaching. I really enjoy teaching. I think it's really, really good to do some, but teaching's best when it's research-led. And I think that was always the vision, is that you lead by research. So we moved in 1998, and I was the youngest researcher in the sort of founding group. I was the baby, and they gave me the broom cupboard. But from the beginning, I think the mood in the ICN was exceptionally exciting, because even the concept of cognitive neuroscience was pretty new. And Tim Challis very wisely started off by clarifying what cognitive neuroscience was. So studying the processes of the mind using measures of brain function. That was one of the definitions that was there, and it's clear people can understand that. So I think he did a very good job by starting off with a simple, wide, but compelling vision of what an Institute of Cognitive Neuroscience was for. It was for understanding how the brain mechanisms made the mind work. Well, I was a junior member, so I was very young and green and naive. So there were loads of challenges which went completely over my head, and I didn't have to deal with them. And I think one thing that they got right, or Tim Challis got right when he set up the ICN, is he just made sure that the administrative burden on researchers was as low as it could possibly be. So he wanted an environment where researchers were paid to do research, not to fill in too many forms, not to get bogged down in too much administrative detail. He took a lot of that burden on himself. He did a lot of it, quickly, efficiently, and avoiding unnecessary hot air.